Hello everyone, this video is to introduce you to the major assignment. This major assignment is called the Restaurant Creative Assignment and is a case study based around Friday Harbor Resort. This assignment will be worth 25% of your final mark, and it is located under the Assignments tab on Blackboard. This is also where you'll be uploading the assignment when you are completed it. This assignment is due the week of December 14th, December 18th being the last day in which you can submit it, which is over 14 weeks away. So really you should not be too concerned about this yet, but I want to get you introduced to it and give you a few tips, explain the template, and talk about group work if you do decide to work in a group. So as you see here, this is Friday Harbor Resort. Friday Harbor Resort is located in Innisfil off of Big Bay Point Road, and this will be located about 20 to 25 minutes away from the Barrie campus. This particular place hosts a very large man-made marina, many cottages and long-term living, so people can live there for up to 300 days a year. They have an exclusive lake club, a 200-acre nature preserve, and an 18-hole golf course. It also is on the beach, or there's a large beach and lakeside or waterfront. So a lot of different water sports. Summer is very, very popular, but winter seems to be also quite up there as well. The next few things are all about information just based on Friday Harbor and gives you a little bit more information. That it's 45 minutes away from the Greater Toronto area. Between 5,000 and 8,000 people will be living on site, and just gives you kind of a breakdown of all the different activities and things that are offered there. These images here are just a couple of the images of what they imagine dining could look like at Friday Harbor Resort. This is an incomplete resort, so they're in the midst of building it. I think they're just finished maybe their phase 1 of 4 phases. Their golf course just opened this year, so we're really at a good time to kind of look at it and say, what do I think would work well here? What kind of restaurant? And then you also have to ask yourself, what restaurant have I always wanted to create? What kind of concept? So it's going to be a little bit of both. So the breakdown is this is a restaurant. It's a group assignment, but you can also work on your own, and I've had many students work on their own. If you have an idea, if you have ever dreamed of owning your own restaurant, hotel, bar, bakery, whatever it might be, this might be a good idea to do it on your own so you don't need to compromise with anyone else, and a lot of people find a lot of joy in doing this. Otherwise, you can work in a group. The maximum amount of people in a group is 4, just so you know. And should you want to work in a group, you will need to let me know who that group is. I will put future information about when you need to let me know. But let's say around week 4, you should have a very good idea of who your group is and what kind of restaurant concept that you will be creating. So a couple of the learning outcomes. So the objective is to develop a restaurant concept with an original menu, marketing, a layout design of the actual restaurant, and a pricing strategy. You will identify and describe in detail the key features of your chosen food service establishment. You'll do research on different markets. So who do you think would go to your restaurant? You'll develop a pricing and marketing strategy and how to promote the establishment. Floor plans, and then it says articulate concept to fellow students via presentation. This is the one big change that I've made to this. I feel online presentations don't work very well. So what I'll be doing instead, this used to be worth 40%, this project. I've kind of pared it down to about 25% and I've removed that presentation component. But you will still hand it to me a report style assignment that I could read almost like a presentation. So the project is due by the end of the week of December 14th, the last day being December 18th. It'll include a title page with your group's name and numbers, as well as a report page. So the report page is something attractive with imagery and the name of the restaurant. But I also just wanted a page with the group names and your student numbers. This should be in between 50 and 30 pages. I've received one over 200 pages. it all depends how much information you are really including in there. Pictures and diagrams and different menus, they take up a lot of space. But you'll see there's a template. If you follow the template and answer all or fill in all the template portions to the best extent that you can, you should feel pretty good about this. You will be uploading this to Turnitin, just so you know. With this particular assignment, and because it does take some time, I have noticed that when people don't start early, towards the end, they get lazy. And I've seen people steal menus from other restaurants. I have no problem with you looking at other menus. I have no problem with you trying to find ideas of things that you would like to have. But if you take someone else's work, it will get caught and you will get a 0 in this course. And that's just a fair warning for everyone. So you have plenty of time to work on it. So please get a little bit done every week, or just start early. That way you don't put yourself in that situation. Okay, so this is a rubric for marking. You can look at that later. So starting the assignment, a couple things that you should think about first is that Friday Harbor already has several different restaurants. And while you want to be able to create whatever kind of restaurant you want, it is important to look at what competition will be out there. So the very first 2 in-class assignments will help you make this choice. We do a lot of research based on Friday Harbor, and then research just on how to choose a concept or what are the concepts that you can create. So until after week 2 or week 3, technically, you won't really need to have chosen what you want to do yet, but the options are limitless. You can do a bakery, a wine bar, a tapas bar, fast casual. You can do any kind or style of food out there. Be unique and be creative. The only thing that you cannot do is do a fast food restaurant. That's it. You'll also be able to pick several different locations. So I've kind of given you 3 different locations that you can choose from. All of these locations have, as you can see here, different specifics about it. The very first location is the Friday Harbor Promenade, and this particular location is located right here. And what you will see is that it's probably the most popular. That's where all the shops and the restaurants, that's where people go on the weekends to really enjoy and see people and be seen. And also it is the highest level of sophistication, therefore also the highest level of price. So you will pay more for this particular location, but you will also, if you have a fine dining or a higher tier restaurant, this is the place for it. The next location is the beachside. So the beachside, it's a one-of-a-kind property where the guests can dine poolside, beachside, inside, or outside. So again, there's a lot of different information that I want you to read up on here. It's not the most expensive, but it is quite pricey because it's on the beach. If you have this location, you must have a patio. Although with everything going on in the world and COVID, I think having a patio period for all locations just really makes sense. And again, you'll take a look at this information as well. And then the next one is either you can do it at the Eagle's Nest Golf Terrace or the edge of the nature preserve. So I said there was about 200 acres of nature preserve. So in this instance, you can kind of put yourself anywhere around there. And it is more of an eco-friendly feel to it. So there's a lot less cost to this, but you are located a little bit away from where the majority of the people in the resort would be. So what I've given you here is a project template. So it gives you the marking scheme for every different subject or section. And then also in smaller lettering, it tells you what I'm looking for. So title page, 2 marks. This should be a slam dunk, 2 marks for everyone. I would want a report style title page that is attractive and depicts your concept. Table of contents, I don't need to go through. Executive summary, it's a 1-page summary of your brand, your concept, and your menu. Executive summaries are often written last. So you complete your whole assignment and then you go back and you summarize it as best you can into 1 or 2 pages of information. Now your concept, and this is where probably people struggle the most is out of 15 marks. So the description of your concept and brand, including a detailed description of your restaurant, colors, number of seats, themes, benefits, uniqueness, including a branding package, which is one of our lessons, will give you full marks as well. So this is what your restaurant is. And if somebody had to describe to you what a Jack Astor's is or a Keg Steakhouse, this is where that section would be. Next portion is market. So you will choose 3 target markets, 1 primary and 2 secondary. After the first assignment, you'll understand what I'm talking about using the PRISM segments. So PRISM segments will be located in course documents. They'll also be located under the assignments tab. And these are all of the markets in Canada. And you'll go, I think there's 64 of them. You'll go through all 64 and be able to choose 3 of the markets that make most sense based on A, your location and Friday Harbor in general, and B, what is your concept. Advertising piece is worth 10 marks. Advertising piece can be social media, and I often recommend it now that it's such an important part of a restaurant. But it can be a newsletter, or it can be a grand opening event. It can be a poster, any of those kind of things. I want you to include this advertising piece in your final assignment. And I also want a brief description of what you're trying to actually advertise. If it is a social media post or a site, I want you to do some screen grabs of the post that you've put up, as well as the link to it. Layout. So 30 marks, it's a very large portion of your assignment. So layout and layout rationale, they kind of go hand in hand. So layout will be the full breakdown of what your restaurant will look like. We'll go through how to use the software, and it's actually quite user-friendly, and you'll be able to create a really beautiful looking restaurant, front of house and back of house, so the kitchen as well as the dining areas. And I'll be looking for a fully functional layout with proper labeling. Now, you can save the all in the program. You'll be able to save all of your designs as a PDF, and then you'll just insert them into this template. So I'll just go here, I'll insert a file or a picture right here, or copy and paste it into here. And layout rationale will be your description of the actual layout. So give me that description of what am I looking at, how much seating, where's all the stations, anything special and unique about your design. Menu. So menu rationale is the next biggest section. So this is going to be worth 25 and 10 marks. I've given you the menu costing templates that's located below. And all I require from you is 4 items from each general category. And by each general category, I mean appetizers, entrees, desserts, or salads. I don't need you to create a full menu for me, just a pared down or smaller version. So you will include an actual menu prototype in this. So I know this one's going to be digital, but it's what you would print and laminate and hand out to the customers. So you'll need to be able to use that. All your menu items should have the actual title, the descriptor, and the price point. And it should be completed completely on your own, and you are not taking any names, ingredient lists, or actual menus from anything that's currently online. Feel free to research and find ideas as much as you want, but don't copy and paste or take anything. It'll be found out and you get a 0. It's just not worth it. Menu rationale will be the costing of the menus. So I don't need you to cost all of your menu items. Rather, I need a cost breakdown of 1 appetizer and 2 entree items and a selection of beer and wine items. So that's about it, and you'll see below what I mean. And then there's a financial probability. So when I was talking about financial probability and then also paring down this assignment, I will just do this for you. I'm not going to get into the financial probability. That's one of the portions that requires a lot of in-class learning to really go through, and I feel like it's best that we just put that aside. That was extra anyways, and really a small portion of the assignment. So as you'll see here, this is the menu item appetizer cost breakdown. So the idea is that you put your menu appetizer here. You put a list of all of the ingredients on this left-hand side. And then if you can find a picture of what that food item would look like, put it in here. Further down, you will break down all the individual ingredients for what they are. So let's say it's chicken breast, the cost for the case size or however you are purchasing. So often you can't go and buy one chicken breast. Rather, you'd have to go and buy a case of them or 12 of them. So maybe it's $12 for 12 chicken breasts. The serving size is 1 chicken breast, and therefore $12 divided by 12 chicken breasts is $1 per chicken breast. The idea is that we're going to go through all these, break down all of the items in that, and you will be able to determine what your total is for that menu. We add 10% onto everything as a spice factor. So there's some things that we don't measure. A little salt or pepper or cumin or whatever it might be into our actual recipe. We don't weigh out a little couple grains of pepper. So what we do is we add 10%, and that should cover the majority of that. And then we will do the total cost per serving. Now, I have given you what your food cost and beverage cost is up above. So depending, and sorry about my scrolling here. So your food cost and beverage cost is 30% when you're at the beach side. So if your food cost is 30%, you will divide the total cost per serving divided by 0.30 or 30%, and that will give you what your menu price should be. Okay? If it's a weird number, you can round up or down a little bit just so it looks nice on a menu. And you will do the same for 2 entrees as well. I hope that makes sense. If you have questions, let me know. So there's also the beer and cocktail item list. Now we've given you what the price factors are. So you use your percentages that are given above. I will probably delete these just so I don't get anyone confused. So you'll list what the beer cocktail item is, the cost to you, what you would buy it for, and what you would sell it. And then the final portions are bonus areas. So what I've really noticed in this assignment is a lot of people go above and beyond. They come up with uniforms, they come up with radio ads, they get coasters or take-out coffee cups, and they really have a lot of fun with this kind of thing. Or they just go above and beyond when it comes to design and other portions. I've awarded a lot of 100% in this project, and not because every single section of their assignment was done perfectly, but because they gave me so much extra stuff that I couldn't not give them 100%. They did such a great job. So this is where that bonus comes in. So if you want to do a nutritional breakdown of an item, you're going to get an extra 5 marks. If you want to do a physical build of the restaurant, which will be difficult, so don't worry about that. Any COVID-19 related materials, such as a takeout program or a revised seating plan, home delivery options, uniforms, color and texture samples, tell me what the bar is made of and when the floors are made of and what the ceiling will look like, and all the different little things that aren't necessarily included in what I've asked you for, but you have an idea of it. Please include that. So that's the end of this. I am going to recommend when it comes to concept. Again, I know a lot of people struggle with concept. So if you're trying to describe to me what your restaurant will look like, feel free to go find pictures that really represent what your concept would look like and include them in here. This is a report that should be attractive. So pictures and graphs and imagery will really help you along the way. Okay? So this is the assignment. For many of you, you might already have an idea of what you want to do. For those of you who do not, that is okay. The first 2 weeks, or the first 2 in-class assignments, I should say, week 2 and 3, will give you a really good idea of what's happening at Friday Harbor and what kind of concepts are there broadly. And then it's up to you to decide what you want to do. Work in a group by yourself, 2 people, up to 4. That's your call. But by week 4, I want to know who's in that group. And there's no late submissions. So no week 12, hey, this person just joined my group. Okay? Other than that, that is the assignment. As we go through Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Mondays, I have those drop-in meetings. You have any questions? You want to share your screen about this assignment? Excellent. Let's do it.